Welcome to today's explainer. All right, we are jumping right in today because we're unpacking a massive misconception in the digital marketing space. What we discovered is absolutely fascinating, and honestly, it completely shifts how we need to look at search intent. If you've been building your strategies based purely on search volume and difficulty scores from standard SEO tools, well, you might be falling into a pretty dangerous trap. Today, we're going to dissect the core of keyword psychology and uncover the massive difference between generating useless web traffic and generating actual, tangible revenue.
Okay, let's dive into this. Stop chasing search volume and start chasing revenue. If your keywords aren't bringing in phone calls, they're just ego keywords. Oof, it's a harsh reality, right? But it's one we absolutely have to face together. Traditional SEO tools are amazing for aggregating huge amounts of data, for sure, but they can kind of inadvertently lie to us about what actually matters for a business's bottom line. Those tools measure bot activity and broad, generalized queries, but they completely fail to measure human intent or, more importantly, a human wallet. If a keyword brings in a flood of traffic, but the phone literally never rings, you aren't doing effective marketing. You're kind of just stroking your own ego.
Think about it like a physical storefront. Would you rather have 10,000 window shoppers who just, stroll by, maybe glance at the glass, but never actually walk through the door? Or would you prefer just 10 people sprinting directly to your cash register with their credit cards already out? The psychology of a ready-to-buy visitor changes everything. High traffic is basically just a vanity metric. It's essentially useless if it doesn't solve a specific local problem or generate a qualified lead. We really need to focus on those 10 ready-to-buy visitors. And here is where it gets really wild. Zero search volume keywords. In a standard marketing meeting, a keyword with literally 0 monthly searches usually gets laughed right out of the room and tossed in the trash. But tools aggregate their data and often completely miss hyper-local long-tail queries. In true keyword psychology, these ghost keywords are actually your secret weapon. Why? Because the giant national corporations ignore them entirely. This means local businesses can swoop in, capture those emergency customers, and completely dominate the market. So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to uncover the ego keyword trap, decode keyword psychology, look at winning with pain keywords, profiting from money keywords, expose the curiosity illusion, and finally, structure everything for actual revenue. Let's get into it. Section 1, the ego keyword trap. Relying purely on search volume and keyword difficulty scores, well, that basically sets a massive trap for failure, especially for beginners. Think about super broad terms. Things like what is SEO, wedding planning ideas, how to start a business, digital marketing trends 2026, or SEO basics. Imagine a local event company spending thousands of dollars and months of effort trying to rank for wedding planning ideas. They might actually get thousands of clicks, but those clicks are from people just building Pinterest boards who have absolutely zero intention of hiring a planner today. Because these terms are so broad, they offer the lowest ranking opportunity, and even worse, the worst conversion rates. Because here's the thing. High impressions and traffic simply do not equal leads or revenue. There's this super dangerous illusion of progress in our industry. Agencies love generating these massive reports with millions of impressions, pointing to green arrows going up just to temporarily impress a client. But businesses get addicted to those green arrows, even as their actual bank accounts dwindle. If your strategy stops at getting eyeballs without actually securing the bag, it fundamentally fails to generate business.
All right, Section 2, decoding keyword psychology.
So how do we actually fix this? Well, we need a complete paradigm shift. We got to move away from a Google-first approach and fully embrace a human-first approach to search intent. True keyword psychology is the deep analysis of a target audience's specific stress levels, their pain points, and their buying intent to determine exactly what they type into a search bar when they are ready to take action. It's about looking past the data dashboard to see the stressed-out human being holding the phone. True keyword research isn't just staring at metrics, it's deeply understanding why a person is searching in the first place. Now, what's really interesting here is how perfectly human behavior drops into different search intents, leading to vastly different results. Look at this breakdown. First, you've got pain keywords. These have high urgency. The result? An immediate lead. Then, money or desire keywords. The intent here is purchase ready, which means high conversion. Next up, curiosity. Informational intent, which usually just leads to wasted early effort. And finally, ego. The intent is pure vanity, and the result is exactly zero revenue. Section 3, winning with pain keywords. Let's zoom in on that highest priority category. This is where a user's stress level is literally maxed out. Think about searches like emergency locksmith near me or emergency plumbing repair 24/7.
Imagine it's 2 a.m., right? Your living room is rapidly flooding from a burst pipe, or maybe you're locked out of your car in the freezing rain. You aren't looking to read a 2,000-word blog post about the history of plumbing. You are in extreme pain. That sheer urgency completely overrides brand loyalty. And that is exactly why a local business can step in, solve the problem, and win that click over a massive corporation every single time.
When a human being searches a pain keyword, their internal monologue is basically just, I am ready to buy, I am ready to pay. Targeting these exact high-stress situations is the ultimate shortcut to the bottom of the sales funnel. Actually, scratch that. It completely skips the funnel. Contrast this with a normal B2B buying cycle that might take 3 months of nurturing, reading 10 reviews, endless price comparisons. Pain bypasses all of that. Their action is urgent, and if you provide the immediate solution, well, these are the keywords that keep the lights on.
Moving on to Section 4, profiting from money keywords.
While pain keywords are all about those late-night emergencies, money or desire keywords rely on a really specific intent to purchase a service or product. I'm talking about long-tail phrases like hire an SEO expert in NYC, full-service wedding planning packages, California, hire specialized e-commerce SEO agency, local SEO services for small businesses, best Shopify SEO agency for startups, affordable wedding planner in New Jersey, or hire freelance content writer in Austin. Just by adding qualifiers like in NYC or for startups, the psychology shifts entirely from casual browsing to active buying. Because these are so intensely specific, they might only get, 10 or 20 searches a month, but the person typing them knows exactly what they want and is actively hunting for the right vendor to give their money to.
So, the absolutely crucial point here is this. It's entirely about conversion rates, not traffic volume. If a business invests a $200 retainer, the goal is to turn that into $1,000 of actual tangible business ROI. You simply cannot do that by ranking them for broad terms. 5 clicks on a highly targeted money keyword will literally yield more actual dollars in the bank than 5,000 clicks on a broad ego keyword. Hitting that 5 times return on investment is only mathematically possible when you surgically target these exact money and pain keywords.
Section 5. The curiosity keyword illusion. Now, we really have to address a major pitfall, especially for those just starting out. The trap of informational intent is a huge distraction. Contrast a search like, how does a wedding planner work, versus hire a wedding planner. The first searcher, they're just curious. They might be a student, a DIY bride trying to save some cash, or someone thinking about a career change. Businesses will often waste thousands of dollars writing massive blog posts for these exact people, hoping they'll convert. But they just want free information, not a paid service. The second searcher, however, has a budget, a date, and a checkbook ready to go. Now, to be perfectly clear, curiosity keywords aren't entirely useless. They just have a very specific time and place. You should save curiosity keywords for building topical authority much later in a campaign, basically proving to Google you're a trusted expert by writing those deeply detailed guides, pillar pages. But you should never, ever use these terms for initial lead generation when a business needs revenue today. Section 6. Structuring for revenue. Okay, we've covered the psychology, so let's talk execution. How do we design pages that actually capture these highly motivated buyers? Well, here is the exact execution blueprint. Step 1, find the searcher's urgent pain or specific desire. Step 2, target those specific long-tail money keywords, yes, even if the tool says 0 volume. And step 3, which is absolutely crucial, design the page to convert them within 30 to 50 seconds. Why such a tight time limit? Well, because if a user is in a state of high pain or urgent need and they land on a cluttered page with massive walls of text, they will immediately bounce to a competitor. The page structure has to instantly provide clear pricing, social proof, and a giant call to action, proving you are the best choice to solve their specific problem right now. Which brings us to the ultimate question for today's explainer. Are your keywords building your ego, or are they building your revenue? It's a tough question, but it leaves us with a real challenge to immediately audit our strategies. If we find ourselves relying on broad, high-volume vanity terms, it's time to pivot. Let's prioritize local problem solving, hunt for that actual human intent, and start turning searches into actual dollars. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.